Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're reviewing a fully loaded Kia Carnival. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Jerry Signer Kia here in Salt Lake City, Utah, for giving me some time with this Carnival. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 26 on the highway, with power outputs being 290 horsepower and then 262 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end of the Carnival, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see it's got this cool kind of like boxy design. And then coming down below, look at the daytime running light. It's pretty crazy. And then you got the headlight. We've got the high beams right there. And then look at the grille. Very intricate with the overall look. We've got parking sensors down below, and then we've got fog lights as well. And putting it all together, it looks good for a minivan. Camera on the side here, tire wheel setup is 235, 55, 19 in the front and over in the rear. And then you guys can see the wheel is completely blacked out, which I really like. And that's pretty cool how the fender is cut on this one. And then you guys can see the mirror caps are body painted. Got some silver trim on the door handles and then down below at the bottom. And then look at the trim here in the back. That's pretty cool. And then here's your full side view with the Carnival. Now here's a quick look at the key fob. We have our remote start function, the opening here for the doors. We've got our lock and unlock function, the opening for the hatch as well. Now popping into the rear, you guys can see we've got quite a bit of storage here behind the third row. And with the third row itself, I like how all of the adjustments are very nicely labeled so that it's kind of like foolproof with using it. And then you guys can see here with the outlet action in the back. And then when you're all done, just press that button and that will lower the hatch right back down. Pretty cool looking taillights here with the Carnival. Notice it goes into the Kia logo, and then we've got our Carnival badge down below, and then more parking sensors. And putting it all together, I think that the Carnival looks pretty cool for a minivan, but let me know what you think. Now here are the seats in this Carnival. You can see perforated all down the center. I love the kind of two-tone design with the brown and the black. Now legroom in the Carnival is actually really good. We've got the storage net here. We've got some cup holders, some charging ports, and then you can see here with the seat, you've got that to adjust the front seat, which is also kind of interesting. And then we actually have our own climate zone here in the back as well. And then this is actually the control here for the sunroof in the rear. So yes, this does in fact open in the back, which is kind of interesting. Oh, and headroom back here is also good. Now legroom here in the third row is actually really nice, and this is a weird shot, but anyways, the seats back here are just as nice as the second row. And then we've got some cup holder action, USB action, and then yeah, headroom's good. Now looking at the front door panel, we've got more of that nice brown trim, and then look at all of our window controls here. Door lock and unlock, the mirror adjustments, the mirrors do power fold in. We also have our memory seat function, and then we've got blind spot monitoring too. And then taking a look at the front seat, you guys can see perforated all down the center portion. And then we've got our power adjustments here on the side. And then you've got this for the hatch, got that for the doors. And then notice with our lane departure, you've got your stability control, and then the steering wheel is manually adjustable, and then also a nice trim all over. Now here's a quick look at the steering wheel. I really like the soft touch all around. We've got our adaptive cruise control with our steering assist. We've got some volume controls, voice command controls on the other side. Turn signal light stock, and then our windshield wiper stock. Now I've got this fun digital gauge cluster here in the center. Notice I can scroll through some different menus, different bits of info on the vehicle itself. And we also have our drive mode select. So we have a normal, eco, sport, and we have a smart mode as well. Now in reverse, you can see we've got a 360 camera system, so we can actually kind of change the viewpoint with it. But resolution is pretty good, and then also the trajectory lines do turn with the steering wheel. Now as for the rest of the infotainment system, first off, response time with the screen's actually really good. Now this does have the passenger view function, so it takes a second to load up, but you can see exactly what's happening with the kiddos there in the back. And then you probably also saw we've got the passenger talk so that you don't have to strain your voice to talk to the kids in the back. I really do like this trim that goes across, and then also look at the soft touch there on the dash with the stitching. Anyways, we've got our analog controls here for the radio, just down below. Climate controls down below that, again, dual zone for the front. We've got your own climate zone on the rear as well. Charging port area with our wireless phone charging pad right there. We've got our shifter here for the transmission, and then you guys can see we've got our parking brake, auto hold, drive mode select, heated and ventilated seats, which will turn that ventilated seat function. It's kind of toasty today. Got your heated steering wheel, parking sensor. We've got that for the camera to pop it on, and then we have our center console, which is actually quite spacious. I do like the soft touch here. It's really nice. And then, yeah, glove box is also spacious. Now up top, you guys can see we've got our controls here for both of these sunroofs. You can actually open them from the front, which is cool. And well, here's the front sunroof itself, pretty standard. So there's quite a bit of glare, so it's gonna be kind of hard to see, but here's our window sticker for the Carnival. This is an SX Prestige, so fully loaded. Base MSRP is $46,300. After all options, this one stickers for $48,060. And let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood. Both of the mirrors, just do it, blind spot monitoring. And then throughout the rest of the rear. And minivan away. No, just kidding. MPV away. This is a multi-purpose vehicle. It's not a minivan. And I guess I'm stalking the invisible kids that are in the back seats right now. So I obviously have already reviewed a 24 Carnival, but I wanted to review a fully loaded Carnival because I think that, as weird as it sounds, I think that this is the type of minivan that a lot of people research into, because at least from what I saw when I was selling cars, people that, you know, there were some people that wanted the base model minivan, but it wasn't a lot. Most of the base model minivans got sold to rental car companies. And then the people that actually came in that were looking to my minivans usually bought the more loaded up ones, because usually if you're going to buy a minivan, it's a family vehicle, it's a utility vehicle you're probably going to keep for the next 10 to 15 years, hopefully. So it's, you know, a lot of people would rather spend the extra money and get a slightly nicer vehicle with nicer features, if you're going to have it for the next 10 to 15 years, right? With that being said, first off, just like other minivans, it rides amazingly well. Suspension's really comfortable. And I like the turn signal camera. It's always a nice feature to have, because obviously it helps out with the, you know, visibility a little bit. Just another little safety thing. Now, aside from that, seats are actually really comfortable as well. And I like the look of this interior quite a bit. I think it's cool. I wish that more automakers would kind of do these colorful interiors. Decent get up and go right off the bat. I will say that. And I think this one just has the, yes, got the traditional camera. See how it goes over the train tracks? That suspension's comfortable. It's so weird to see. You can just have that on the whole time. Big Brother Parent Edition, right? Yeah, I really like that turn signal camera. I think that should just be like standard in all cars. Yeah, really good torque right off the bat. Well, we are going to get our acceleration here with this multi-purpose vehicle. It's not a rocket ship by any means, but the transmission's smooth and responsive. It's got, I mean, for a minivan, it moves. Sport mode's fun, makes gauge cluster look cool. So, wrapping things up with this Kia Carnival fully loaded. I really like the Carnival. You know, the minivan segment's actually very competitive. All of the minivans are about the same price. They all have about the same amount of features, and you know, they all drive pretty similar. Like, this is one of the segments that's so weird to me, because like other segments, like, you know, usually like the manufacturers have different engines, this and that, but like almost all minivans on the market today, right? V6, modern transmission, right? I mean, the Toyota Sienna obviously has a hybrid 4-cylinder, so that's a little bit different. But the point that I'm trying to make is they're all so similar. So the thing I like about the Carnival is it feels a little bit more upscale. I think that, here's a good way to explain it. It feels more upscale like the Pacifica, but it also feels like it has better build quality like the Toyota. So I think it kind of gives you the best of both with the different companies. Let me know what you guys think about the new Carnival.